Hello, my friends. It is Caitlin and Alana, once again, 5 years later. So this weekend is our 10-year anniversary.
10-year homecoming? What do people call it?
It's anniversary sounds weird. It's our 10th homecoming.
Yeah.
Yes. Since graduating William and Mary.
Wow.
We graduated in 2012. It is now 2022. And in 2017, which was our 5-year reunion. It's a reunion.
Reunion. Yeah.
We're already loopy.
Oh my
And it's
God.
only the beginning of the video.
Oh
That's
my
not
dear.
good. Our 5-year reunion was in 2017, and we filmed this video called What is Adulting and Other Post-College Thoughts. And so as the 10-year reunion came up, we were like, we should get back together and give thoughts on 10 years. And then I was like, what if we reacted to this video? Because I don't think I have watched this video since I uploaded it. You've watched it
A lot.
many times.
I think it's great.
Not that I didn't think that it was great. I literally broke up with my boyfriend the night before we filmed this video, and it was not a good time in my life at all.
Oh.
And so I kind of was like, put that video out there, and I never looked at it again. So we're going to rewatch it, though, and talk about the advice we gave and kind of our silliness, probably, because we were filming it late night in a hotel room, as we are doing tonight.
Now.
Although I would say we were filming in kind of we got like a cheap hotel.
Yeah.
That's probably the first thing, is your 5-year reunion, you might be in a super cheap hotel.
Yeah.
And
10-year.
10-year, we got upgraded from a 1-room suite, or like a studio suite,
Yeah.
to a 1-bedroom suite. And like we're here with our partners, we're not sharing, so like so many things are different.
Oh my gosh. I remember like the walls there being like so, like you could hear, your neighbors and everything.
Let's jump in.
Yes.
And watch the video.
What is this YouTube thing?
To start first, you were like, what is this YouTube thing? And
Yeah.
now you have your own YouTube
I
channel.
have my own YouTube channel.
Yes.
As of right now, I have 32 subscribers.
Go subscribe to
Yeah.
Alana for daily life vlogs.
content.
Yeah.
Living in New York now.
Living in New York. So if you're interested in that kind of content, subscribe to Alana.
Yeah.
I think what's cool about being at homecoming is realizing that's like where you start, and that anything that you do after college would be a new beginning. It's kind of like you're almost a baby in the adult world.
I'm feel like maybe a 2-year-old in the adult world.
How do you feel now?
I still feel like I'm like a small child. Maybe I'm like 6 at the most.
In the adulthood life.
Yeah.
I think I'm like, I almost always have felt like a kid inside. Like I don't feel like you ever feel like you're like, wait, I have an apartment and I have a job and I'm paying my bills. Like all that always feels kind of shocking when I think about it too much. Like, oh my God, I'm an adult.
Yeah.
Oh, weird. I guess in adult years, I'd be like a 6-year-old. No, like an 8-year-old, I feel like. Yeah. I think because of being in New York, I had to like become like super grow up fast in my adulthood life.
Yeah. It's not that I don't feel like I'm an adult and can't take care of myself. I
Yeah.
certainly
Oh, for
do.
sure. Yeah.
It's more that I feel like I'm an imposter sometimes.
Oh.
That I can like take care of my base needs and all that, but I don't feel like I know what I'm doing sometimes.
But you know what? I bet if we even spoke to an 80-year-old, they would say the same
That's
thing.
probably true.
I think you should give yourself more credit.
Yeah. I have to remind myself a lot that most people are just kind of like winging it and faking it till they make it.
Because I think life is always going to throw us like a lot of hard stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would say you're 8 years old too.
Thanks. Yay for 8 years old.
In the real world.
I think one of the problems we have feeling like everyone is supposed to be on the same timeline with like people getting engaged and people getting married, people having kids, people getting various masters and doctorate degrees,
Buying a house.
buying a house. They're always sort of like,
Yeah, you can stop me there. I'm still struggling with this.
I was going
and
to
the
say, like,
adult
this
goals.
reminds me of a certain video recently.
Yeah. I think this may be like my whole theme of my life is the struggling to feel like I'm an adult. But I mean, you're engaged. And so I don't know if any of us are going to buy a house, to be honest, unless we
Yeah.
win
a
lottery.
long-
Long-term goal.
Yeah.
I think since making this video, I've probably accepted more that I don't have to like tick all the little boxes
Mm-hmm.
in the order that everyone else does or at all.
Yeah.
And being like more okay with that. I mean, there's a lot about my life that I am really happy. Like, even from when I made this video in 2017 and really my life was falling apart in so many ways, I am so much happier where I am now, like in my job, in my life, in my relationship, mental health wise, physical wise, everything.
Yeah, I feel like by the time I hit the 30s, I feel like it sounds cliche when people tell you like, oh my god, you're at 30, they're just so much better than your 20s, but like, it really is. I feel like we were talking about earlier, like going to homecoming, and there were people I saw across this room that like freshman year of college, I was intimidated because they felt so cool. And I still think they're cool people, but like I'm not as intimidated. Like if I was standing next to them, I'd introduce myself and be like, or not introduce, but like say hi again, and not feel as intimidated as I'd feel when I was like graduating college even 5 years ago. Because I'm like, oh, we're actually all just adults doing our own thing now.
Yeah.
And
it's
feels
like, oh,
big.
we had this similar experience in life. And yeah, I totally see what you're saying, that like just to see any kind of familiar face at all is kind of fun. I would say for
it's like, even if I wasn't close with you in college, I'm like, oh, I'm actually okay talking to you. Whereas in college, I was just very, like, the person who I was freshman year was so intimidated and anxious and nervous. And I still feel that in a lot of social situations, but I think I'm a lot better at, like, talking to people nowadays. But, like, I just don't think I actively, like, feel like I'm falling behind as I did when I first graduated. And people were getting those big jobs after college, and I'd be like, how did you do that so fast?
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore, which is nice.
They didn't major in film, is really what happened.
Yeah, that's a really good point. They like
Probably
did the
majored in
business,
finance.
yeah, business track, those kinds of people.
I know I haven't achieved what I've been wanting to achieve, but what's hard for me is I don't know what I want to achieve. I think it's good to keep challenging yourself.
I feel that.
And really be
Yeah,
like,
even now?
bad.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest struggles right now, is feeling like I don't quite know what I want to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
There's a level of like, hopefully soon ending a long distance relationship. I mean, like, because we're no longer long distance, not because we're getting rid of it.
Oh no, not again!
Because hopefully we will actually be in the same place together, and
That's
like,
exciting.
yes. So there's a level of like feeling like we can move on with our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if I hadn't experienced, like, basically my entire 20s and the start of my 30s has been one long distance relationship after another. Don't get into long distance relationship, kids.
Or for long distance.
Make sure
that's
that
hard.
there's like a, an end date, end goal.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a difference versus like, let's see what happens, and then there's a pandemic. Oh.
It's funny because I think I also, like I have a job where I can see a track,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not sure, like, on TV and film and working in media in any way, it's just hard because there's just so many kind of jobs within the same thing. And now, because of the pandemic, though, there are more remote opportunities, which is kind of what I'm aiming for. But even then, I'm like, can you be on the remote side and still like be an EP of a show? I don't know. That's what I thought for a long time. That's what I wanted, but I don't know anymore. We shall see. I'm kind of feeling like nowadays, just because currently my state of life is very wonky, I'm okay with kind of just riding whatever wave. But I don't like to do that I like stability and structure.
Yeah.
And right now I've had to accept the lack of stability and structure. So hopefully not for much longer, because it literally makes my head feel like...
I feel like it's been a good lesson for you, maybe.
I've learned that, like, wow, Alana, you've lived in a place for a long enough time where you have good friends who support you when you, like, don't have, it's just been a weird couple of months. You YouTubers don't know that, but I've been a bit nomadic, that's for sure. Yeah, it has been a good thing. It's like, cool. I've been able to build something to the point where, like, I'm not, like, not sure where I'm gonna sleep or get my food. I'm like, wow, cool. You can deal with both stuff, structure and lack of structure, and you know that you want to achieve structure again. So that's good too. And also, that's also good to know that you can go wherever you want in life. You don't have to be pigeonholed.
Ooh, I would say one thing I have learned probably since this video is that you really at any point can decide to go in a completely different direction. I think even at this point, between like the time we graduated into the 5 years, I was like, well, I really have to decide exactly what it is I want to do, and I have to like
yeah.
put my head down and go. Otherwise, I'm never going to achieve anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the thing I feel like a little butterfly in a chrysalis where I'm trying to like, I'm still trying to figure it out. I haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
But I know that at some point I can burst out and I can be whatever kind of butterfly I want to be.
And take on the world.
Yeah, and take on the world.
That's for sure.
And so it has made me, I probably like the job that I have too has helped. Just like the type of people I'm around has made me realize that at any point you can just kind of like decide to change everything. If you like, it's hard. It's certainly not easy, but there are going to be obstacles, absolutely. But if you want to change something, if you don't want to be in the career that you're in, you can absolutely blow up your life and go in a different direction. Not actually that many things are stopping you. And whether it'll work out, who knows? But that's kind of the joy of life, maybe. Coming to terms with that, I think, is something that I'm working on probably right now. Because I'm feeling a little like I hit the ceiling in my where I'm at right now, and I want to go farther. So I'm like, well, what do I do next? So
yeah, I think it's an important thing to continue to remind yourself of. Because not recently, my interns, I don't have any interns anymore. She's like, I'm applying for this job, and I think I want to work in production and development, but this job would be in post. She's like, is that going to keep me on the path of post? And like, she literally graduated in May. And I'm like, it's fascinating to me because it's like, when you are in your 20s, and especially early 20s, even if they were to watch this video, I feel like people are going to doubt you until they're living life a little bit more. Like when you're younger, people tell you this information that we're saying that we've learned now. But like, I feel like when you're young, you're like, whatever. Like they think they know it, but like they don't know it. But it is true. It's like, you know, even currently what I'm going through right now is like a lot of big changes that I'm choosing to do now. And I may change them in some other kind of way later on. And like literally the only thing that's holding you back is yourself. Usually. Like that's what I told this intern. I was like, go down post, and if you feel like you like it, you may actually enjoy it. Like you may realize it's not a pigeonhole, it's actually a door to a great like new opportunity. Or what you say is like, I'm gonna try this job, do it for like a year or two. Also, I bet it's not even like a full-time year-long job. I bet it's like only like a 6-month job on like a gig,
but 6
right?
months like when
you're
you're 22 feels
you're like,
so
oh no,
long.
it's not enough diversity on my application or my resume. It's like, no, you're fine.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you do it, but you set the limit for yourself. Like, I'm gonna do this for a year, 2 years max, and then like set a deadline of like, you know what? Once you have like a little bit of money saved up, you can go like a different direction. It usually takes a lot of planning to change a direction.
Yes.
I love this conversation.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Patience, I think, is the biggest thing that I'm having to keep reminding myself. Learning to be patient with yourself and knowing that everything you're doing will lead to something. I'm having to learn like every day when I'm like, why am I not there yet? And everyone's like, oh, you're fine, you have plenty of time. And I'm like, but I want to be there.
Yeah, I want to say like it's fascinating to watch and have the patience, because I think this was important for me back then. Because back then I was working at Starbucks. And this is not to say anything bad about Starbucks, because it was actually a great job. But it was so far from what I thought I would be doing. And not that it's like a bad job, it really, like it built so many skills. And I actually got my first ever film job because I had worked at Starbucks for a while. And they're like, oh, that means you can multitask. So there's like skills you learn from any kind of job. But I had been in New York for like 4 months at that point, and just learning to be patient, as I said, with like, you just got to this city. You are needing to build roots and connections. And then like a year and like a month after this is when I got my first film job, which was my longest term job in New York. But like, yeah, patience is such an important thing to like build and grow and still learn. But especially back then, I had to like be like, Alana, stop trying to rush things. Things take time to nurture. My time in New York has been so great, even when it was hard, but it took time and I had to be patient.
Yay! Thank you for vlogging with me, for having a slightly delirious conversation in a hotel bathroom.
They're kind of the best.
Look at this, now you also upgraded to a couch.
Yeah. I also have like a much better setup. Like I don't even know if we had my tripod.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that setup in this hotel. Yeah, very set up.
Filming on a cell phone now.
What did we film before?
We probably filmed with either my DSLR or I had, that little camera, like kind of point and shoot camera.
I did that one, probably.
That might have been what I brought.
So, This is Lana, my friend Alana. We went to William and Mary together. She's been in some other videos.
Did I not introduce you?
No, yeah, not till the end.
See them. And I'm Caitlin. I didn't say that either. I hope that if you're on this channel, you know who I am. And if this is the first video you're watching, I'm very sorry.
I'm not.
Oh, I love that part. That's like a good description of our dynamic.
So hopefully
Yeah.
some smiles, some hope.
Depressing but uplifting.
Yeah,
See you guys
we're both.
next Thursday.
Aww. I think it's so cute. I love this video so much.
Oh, we're so little.
I know,
Young.
so young. Look at us experience. It's so funny in 5 years from now when we do something similar.
I know, we're gonna be like,
look at those two goofballs. And they know so much 5 years later. Oh, I love this video. It was so fun.
I kind of like this. It's almost like Inception, and then
Yeah.
like 10 or 5 years from now, rewatch this video.
Yeah. Oh my god. Just smaller images of all of them. Oh my god, I would love that. Okay, 5 years from now. Because what's cool too, we've known each other actually. We met did we meet, was it a writing class freshman year?
Yeah.
We did, yeah.
So 2008.
So 14 years of life. That's a huge chunk of life.
Yes.
Who knows what's going to happen in the next 5 years?
I know.
It'd be so fun. I'm excited to see what the next year brings.
Yeah.
And then the year after that. And then 3 more years after that. And then a whole lifetime after that.
We're like 95 years old filming, or actually, I guess it'd have to be 92 years
92
old.
or 97.
Yeah.
I got big, lofty life goals. Oh, I love you so much, my friend. Oh.
Thanks for hanging out with us at 10-year reunion, and 5. If you, I'll link that video if you would like to go back and watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
I love doing this with you, and I love coming to homecoming. It's always really nice. So thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Yeah, I forgot.